Hello, welcome to week 1 of HIS 115. I look forward to working with you during this week. So, the theme for this week is America and the Land. So, we will be examining how the United States has expanded geographically over time, and the impact that this geographic expansion has had on various peoples. The United States began as an independent nation on the territory east of the Mississippi River, south of Canada, and north of Spanish Florida. So if you examine the United States when we first became an independent country in 1783, that's when Britain recognized American independence, the United States geographically was located to the south of the Canadian border. Canada was still a territory of Britain. To the east of the Mississippi River, and to the north of Florida. So this was the geographical territory that made up the US. If you look at where people lived in reality, the vast majority of the Anglo-American population and African-American population lived east of the Appalachian Mountains. So really, the vast majority of the settlements in what we would think of today as the United States existed within about 100 miles of the Atlantic coast. Gradually over time, people moved westward. Now, of course, the land that the Anglo-Americans were moving into was not vacant land. Native Americans resided on this land, and this was the ancestral homeland of many Native American tribes. So as the United States expanded, Anglo-Americans often displaced Native American tribes from their land, and often forced Native Americans to move to reservations operated by the federal government. Clearly, this was unjust, this displacement of Native peoples from their lands, oftentimes without any sort of compensation. Now, the United States expanded gradually from there. The Louisiana Purchase greatly expanded the size of the United States in 1803. During the presidency of Thomas Jefferson, the United States purchased a huge swath of territory called the Louisiana Purchase from France. It included much more than just what today is the state of Louisiana. It expanded the country essentially from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains, including most of the Great Plains. The next great expansion of the United States took place as a result of the Mexican War. In 1845, the United States went to war with Mexico. This war concluded in 1848, and the United States greatly expanded its territory as a result of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which ended the war. The United States gained possession of California and a number of other territories as a result of this conflict. Subsequently, the United States would purchase Alaska from Russia, and the United States would ultimately annex and acquire the Hawaiian Islands as well. In 1898, the United States, through its victory in the Spanish-American War, would take possession of Puerto Rico and the Philippine Islands as well. So this week, you have a few assignments to complete. You'll complete the knowledge path readings videos that should be completed by the end of the day on Thursday. You'll participate in a discussion board. The discussion board asks you to comment on quote-unquote winners and losers of American expansion, who benefited from American expansion and who was harmed by American expansion. You should post your initial response by the end of the day on Thursday, and then a response to others' comments by the end of the day on Saturday. And then you also have a writing assignment due by the end of the day on Saturday. There are 2 prompts or questions. You choose one to respond to. One focuses on urbanization, the movement of people from rural areas into cities, particularly in the mid to late 19th century. and the other focuses on the role of the federal government and land use. The federal government has played a crucial role in the development of land in the United States. The federal government granted huge tracts of land to railway companies for the building of a transportation network, for example. The federal government still owns and controls a huge swath of territory, particularly in the western part of the United States. So I look forward to working with you during this week. Feel free to contact me with any questions you have. Thank you very much.